Welcome back to the show. My name is Bradley,
I'm Rich.
I'm Jared.
and off camera we have our producer Rich. You want to say hello?
Hello, gentlemen.
Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to cover Halo Combat Evolved. We're going to discuss whether this game is SMAC certified, and maybe along the way it'll help whether you even want to revisit this to begin with. We're going to start off with a bang, not waste any time. Jared, you want to give us a brief synopsis?
Okay, the little bit I get about this game is a little confusing for me. You start off on a ship called the Pillar of Autumn, I believe,
Yes.
and you're being attacked by, I guess, some sort of creepy aliens or something.
You don't really know yet.
You don't know, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. But so they know they're in trouble, so they have to wake up the best soldier to ever exist, a gentleman named Master Chief.
Yes.
So they basically wake you up, and as they wake you up, you go through like your training and all this stuff, and then they attach themselves to your launch bays, I guess, and then you have to fight your way out while the Captain Keyes, has to try to land it onto the Halo ring, which is like a world.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I get
It's
from it.
pretty much all they really give
Yeah.
you to start the game. I guess we can just go right into that, and Rich, I'll send it over to you.
Yep.
Why don't we just go with like first impressions? You pop it in. What is going through your head?
So we've all played this game a lot, right? And,
Way too much, yeah.
And I think the last time I played it was a couple years ago before Infinite came out. And when I jumped back into it this time, I remember thinking, oh, and again, I'm playing on the Master Chief Collection, so it starts off in the updated resolution and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, this looks better than I remember. And then I'm like, hang on a second, and I hit the button to change what it looked like, and it looked pretty ugly back on Xbox, the original. But that was my first impression was, hey, it doesn't look that bad. Oh wait, yeah, it did. It looked pretty bad.
Yeah, and I think my first impressions going back and revisiting this was kind of the same thing. And for those of you who are listening, while you play this, it's not the start button. I think it's like the menu button on the Master Chief Collection if that's what you're playing. You can toggle that on and off, and it will go back to the original Xbox graphics. Or like you mentioned, the updated resolution, the frame rate, the load time.
And the Master Chief Collection is what?
Yeah, so the Master Chief Collection, I believe, has Halo all the way. Does it have Infinite as well?
No.
So I think it's Halo all the way to Halo 3? Halo
No, it's
4?
past- I think it goes, yeah.
I'm not, to be honest. I
I don't think
only
that's
popped in
Guardians.
to
I
play
don't think
Halo.
that's Guardians either.
Yeah, so Guardians obviously came out after, and then Infinite was a prequel. We're not here for that, though. We're here for the original Halo Combat Evolved. But yeah, back to my first takes was the music kind of hit me right away with that.
Can you hit us with the bridge?
You're loading in.
Yeah, you talking about the? Oh, you mean the? That's my. But no, my favorites. Sorry, Brad, to cut you off.
No,
Another
you're
kind of
good.
music. The dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Man, I can listen to that all day. Sorry, go back.
Yeah, no, I just think the first impressions for me were very nostalgic. It's kind of hard because you can never really have first impressions
Again.
the second time around. Yeah, so like going back into it, that was it. Same exact thing as you, not trying to, piggyback off yours, but it was like, man, these graphics, they hold it pretty well. And then as soon as you can control Master Chief through like the training and you push that button, you're like, oh, wow, this is very blocky. That was the first thing I thought. What about you, Jared?
As soon as you turn it on, the music, gets it going. And same thing. I was trying to figure out how to change the graphics. And then I changed it. I was like, wait, Captain Keyes looks nothing like the new version.
Yeah.
He has like a way better flat top.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
for Xbox, 360 technically graphics it was. I think they revamped it.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even Xbox One. But I just kept switching, and then I would find myself walking. I'm like, okay, there's the fire. Let me push it, get the graphics to go back to the crappy one, see how the fire, and the fire was like nowhere
Yeah.
near it.
It is kind of fun to be able to go back and forth between it. Like, oh, this looks pretty good. This must look terrible. And the other one, let me click it. And once again, this is original Xbox. When this came out, this was top of the line for console at least.
Well, I did it a lot when you get onto the second level. And
Where you crash land?
Yeah. And so I went to look out. I stood on the cliff and looked out at the water. I'm like, oh, it looks good. And then you hit the button. You're like, oh, that's bad.
But I remember
Yeah.
those looking so good. I remember
Yeah.
going to school and telling everybody, like, man, you could see like the blades of grass on this Halo game.
And it wasn't even blades of grass. It would look like green carpet, and then
Yeah.
random spots would
Yeah.
have a little piece of
And now I look at it
grass.
now, I'm like, what was I looking at?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's it's a very old game. 2001 or 2000?
2 probably.
2002?
No,
Yeah.
2001.
Either way, I mean, we'll have producer Rich pull it up later. But I think the game still holds up very well, even if you play in the older graphics, which is what we were tasked to do. So I hope you guys actually did that. I really enjoyed, and we'll go right into the next one, which was what we were going to talk about, controls.
Yeah, the controls.
Yeah, I think the controls, to me, held up very well. Like, it was one of the first games that used 2 joysticks, right? Obviously, a lot of other first-person shooters did it as well, but this was the first one to me that felt like it was smooth, it was refined.
Pretty mainstream too. Right?
Yeah, and I just felt like, I don't know, like I felt like it was very easy to jump and traverse and throw grenade. Like all the buttons felt like they made sense. So I don't know if you guys
The
had
only
any
issue I
gripes
had
with
with
it.
it is he turns very slow when you move your right joystick. He turns really. Now I'm sure you could probably adjust that in
Update
the
the-
settings and
yeah.
stuff. But to me,
sense.
it's like he was turning so slow. I'm like, okay, but that's a minor gripe.
I had 2 sticking points, guys. So when you're driving the Warthog, that is the hardest vehicle I've
yeah.
ever had to drive.
Well, you're trash. That's why.
And no, but the other thing is there's nothing more satisfying than when you take a turn really well in
Oh,
that
yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
You feel like freaking an awesome driver. But then I didn't like how, and maybe I'm used to Infinite, but I think the right bump is now the like the hit button.
The melee.
And I didn't like that it was B. And I guess you could change that in the settings and all that stuff, but I kept trying to punch people and I was hitting the wrong button. And just for the controls, those are the 2 things for me that I didn't like. And I'm like, oh, okay, they did, with the newer ones, update this and make it better. Again, nothing huge, but things I didn't like with the controls.
All right, well, that leaves, well, it doesn't leave, but the next thing we would talk about would be, I guess, music. I'll let Jared take this one first. He always
Yeah.
he's already chomping at the
Oh,
bits
yeah.
to say something about it. What were your impressions on going back and revisiting
So
the
as
music?
soon as you go to the main menu, it hits you.
Yeah.
It just hits you right away. And first thing I thought was this guy, because he has a tendency of doing that main thing in
To
his
anything,
house
yeah.
because it echoes.
Yeah.
So he does that all the time. So every time I hear that song, I just think of this moron. Like,
Well, with the vaulted ceilings,
yeah.
you know?
And then remember the story about that?
Yeah, so
Go ahead and tell it.
was it when we were getting the Halo Xbox?
No, it's when we get the original.
This is when we were getting the Series X, and Jared and producer Rich come over to my house, and we're waiting for the UPS guy. And the whole day, all I can do is the and it's in my own house. And my dad goes, producer Rich goes, "Can you stop it? That's annoying." I'm like, "Dude, you're in my house, sleeping on my couch with your socks, like, dude." And
Holy socks. He's got holy socks.
only a hole in the big toe. Though. But literally accosting me in my own home.
Yeah, yeah. And then we waited for a couple hours, and then we're like, screw it, we gotta go get food. And then as we go get food, the Ring camera shows a UPS guy just dropping a bunch of boxes. Like, really?
Yeah.
Well, at least he didn't do the, like, they leave the sticky.
No, he.
Oh, sorry, we missed you. And it's like, dude, did you even try to ring the doorbell or did you
Yeah.
just dip?
I was still there. I
He was
didn't
still
go.
there, he picked him up.
So I wanted
he
to make
grabbed
sure I
him.
stayed
It's probably they're
behind.
sleeping on your couch.
No,
He didn't even wake up to get
No,
the...
we wanted to make sure that they didn't get jacked.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But definitely go back into the sound, Jared.
Yeah, so then it hits you right away from it. Okay, this is gonna be a banger. And then when you get into the main game and you see the pillar arm flying and this music is low, but you can hear it kind of gradually getting louder. It's like you're in for a treat. This,
Am I
to
the
me,
only-
this is
yeah.
where music. I don't know why I'm doing that again. To me, this is where, because before this there was music in games, but this seemed like this was a full orchestra.
Yep.
Like this was Microsoft went out and spent money, and this was when Bungie was actually good. They're not like now. Like
Destiny,
Microsoft, Microsoft put all kinds of money into say, okay, we're gonna put a full-on orchestra, but they could do that when you have almost infinite money. So they threw a full-on orchestra with this, and was gonna make this the most epic game they were gonna possibly can make, because they knew, hey, if this doesn't work, we're not gonna stay afloat as a console. So it feels like they threw everything into this game and changed a lot with gaming because of how much money they put into this, down to the graphics, especially with the music.
Yeah.
So a lot of companies out there should thank Microsoft for making a game with this kind of music in it. Now I'm sure there's people out there saying, "Well, this had this music and this." No.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm talking
they're-
about full-on
hang on,
orchestra.
hang on. And if you are saying that, you're right.
No, I'm saying full on orchestra.
Yeah.
Like, and then you could watch when they have the Microsoft shows and stuff. They actually have orchestras will play the music, and it's full on.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't want to say it, but like, put it this way: when the most recent Halo, when they showed the trailer at E3, and it shows like, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's in the frozen pelican,
Yeah.
and
The pilot. I think he's just pilot.
when he wipes the ice off of the front, and it goes dum da dum, just a piano, goosebumps. You can call me a nerd because I am. I don't give a damn. My whole thing is that this, just like Mario, anytime you hear dip 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 or any other Zelda, any iconic Doom, you hear the Doom music. When you hear that music, it literally takes you back to memories of when the Covenant threw a sticky grenade on you and blew you up, or you blew them up, or you do that final mission, which we can talk on, maybe a little spoilers here at the very end, Like it literally takes you back to your childhood. It sounds cliche, it sounds corny.
It's
I don't
the-
really care.
yeah.
It's beautiful music to me.
No, it's the only game where, to your point, when I hear that music, goosebumps not every single time. I mean, if I'm doing the dishes or something and,
Yeah.
and I put the song comes on, it's not goosebumps. But like when we restarted the game, even though I played it 100 times, you turn it back on, you hear that music, and then when they're asking like, "Hey, get Chief ready," like immediately, you know what I mean? I'm just like, "Oh, dude, I'm back." You know what I
going
mean?
back to first playing it, they say get our friend ready or whatever, or she get everyone ready, and she goes, "Everyone?" He goes, "Yes, everyone." That's kind of like the what's it called? The movie with Gary Oldman just ripped it off. The professional thing is. Anyways,
yep.
he and then Chief comes down, and you're thinking, who is this guy? But he must be a badass.
Yeah.
Because everybody was just like, everyone like
Yeah.
ready for this guy.
Well, when you see
knowing
the
this
other-
one guy is pretty much gonna
Yeah.
save humanity.
Well, so we're talking about sound, right? And a lot that goes into sound is the voice acting and
Yep.
all that.
Yeah.
Holy cow, was this? I don't know why I went real.
Holy cow.
But I mean, the voice acting is phenomenal. I
He
mean,
only-
Cortana's great.
Cortana
Master
literally is
Chief,
still around to this day. She's on your every Microsoft
dude,
device.
Master Chief is phenomenal.
You know what makes Master Chief great? Going a little bit back to we talked about Dead Space.
Yeah.
He says just enough.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and what he says is perfect.
And he's not ever scared. Like they're gonna go down and things. She goes, "Hold on to your butts." And
Don't
she
you
goes-
wanna sit
And he
down?
goes, "We'll be fine."
Yeah.
Punch it.
Sure you wouldn't rather take a seat?
We'll be fine.
They explode. And he's just
great.
like, whatever.
He's great. I can listen to that guy. I don't know
Well,
who the voice actor
Not,
is.
We gotta
not-
get him on the show.
Yeah, not,
Anybody know him out there? We'll get him on the show.
not to spoil anything, but one of the his best lines in all the games you play is he goes, "Where are we going? What are you doing?" And he goes, "To win the war." And you're just like, dude, by himself.
I thought he says to finish this fight.
Whatever
That's a
he
separate
is.
one.
Oh,
I'm talking
okay.
about
Okay.
But
Maybe he does say to finish the fight, but if I butchered it,
leave a
it's
comment.
the same damn
He
thing.
can correct us when he's on the show.
Leave a comment. Leave a
That's
comment if we
true.
butchered
But
it.
yeah, Captain Key's got a great voice. Cortana's got an amazing voice. The sergeant, the black sergeant with the cigar,
Yeah, he's a badass.
he's got a great voice. Even the Covenant, like all the little creatures. Oh, you're gonna kill us!
Yeah.
That was a grunt. If you're listening. Somebody who is listening right now is just like, dude, I feel like I'm playing Halo. But anyways, yeah, the sound, amazing. I still get goosebumps. The voice acting, obviously that goes into it. I guess we can just end it before we kind of like determine our final results on like what fun factor. Do we even need to say it?
I mean, no. I mean, we just played Banjo last week, and I've been playing a lot of that and can't put it down. And then I put Halo in, and I forgot about Banjo, and I just been playing Halo, and it's the most fun. Even going back and playing a game that's 20 years old, and you're just like, man, like this is just great. Like it's great. I love Master Chief. I'm a homer. You guys make fun of me for all my Mario stuff, but I have more Master Chief stuff and more Halo stuff than anything. And like every time I turn it on, I'm like, well, this is why I got addicted to this. You know, this is where it all started.
Literally sold the console, like Jared mentioned earlier. And actually, I don't know the actual story, but the guy who made the music, I think wasn't that kind of like last minute? Like they just needed something, so he just went in and kind of did it, and then it stuck with it. But Jared is right, full orchestra in regards to the music, which makes you so immersed. The weapons are great. I mean, you get snipers.
The handgun's
Pissed.
way too overpowered.
Yeah, the Magnum's a little bit too powerful, but you get basically it was one of the first games where you got Alien Arsenal. I don't want to say Alien, I guess Covenant Arsenal, and then you got the Human Arsenal. But then there was a scary mission where like you legitimately are like picking up a headset of a guy and watching how he died.
Yep.
And then the end level literally might be the best ending level of all time in any game. It was one of the few games where it ended and you're on and spoiler for a 20-year-old game, but when you're on that final Pelican and he's floating out and you're kind of waiting for someone to pick you up and he gets ready to take his helmet off, you almost don't even want to see what he looks like.
You never do.
You're like, do not show me.
Yeah.
Because if you show me, it's going to probably be like some needle head or he's going to, needle head. What the hell's a needle head?
But I mean, we haven't even touched on multiplayer, and that might be one of like the best part of
Yep.
the game, really.
Multiplayer was fun. Co-op co-op campaign, which was fun. Putting it on Legendary and like
Trying to survive the whole time.
just ridiculous amount of fun you can have with this game, even back to this day. I think Halo 2 probably did it better, but still the original Halo like might be the best in regards to changing the game for first-person shooters. So obviously that means the fun factor is going to be at like a 10.0 out of 10. Don't know
Yeah,
if you
and a
guys
lot of what
agree.
we talk about too, right, is the nostalgia and where does it take you back? Going and playing, not to beat a dead horse, Banjo. It took me back to being, that 12-year-old or whatever, and going back and playing Halo. It literally will take you back to where you were, what you were doing, who you were playing with, where you played. All those things hit you again as soon as you turn it back on.
I don't know if they do it now because I haven't really paid attention as much, but back then the games were released before the console. So we a couple weeks before the console, so we bought it from Babbage's. I think it was. I don't think it was GameStop, and we had that, and we had Oddworld. And I remember we would look at the back of the box, like that exact one. That's the same copy. Looking at the Warthog, like, man, I want to drive this thing, like light these things up. In your mind, you're like, I can't wait to play it. And once I get to play, I'm never gonna put it down. So that's where it brought me back to.
Yeah, this game might have ruined our console because we played too much. It just overheated our console.
Yeah, and then you could save it. It's like push save it. It's like no memory card.
Well, it was one of the first games as well. I don't want to say one of the first games, but it was one of, I guess, the earlier adapters of no load times. Once you load it into the actual game, remember, it would just pop in and save, like you just mentioned, quick saves.
I mean, and nothing against. I know there's PlayStation 2 because it's a great console, probably one of the best consoles ever. This thing made that thing like a little toy. How much power this had in that console. The load times, like I said, you could save. On.
I mean, the fact that certain games were on Xbox that couldn't even be on
that
PS2,
tells you something.
But they also had the advantage of. I mean, we're not going to get into that
No,
whole
I'm just
thing.
saying
but
it just
good-
tells you. It just
Yeah.
shows you how much power was in that console to run this thing. Because this was, I mean, PlayStation 2 couldn't handle that.
No,
There's no way.
There's a lot of games that PlayStation 2 couldn't handle that. were
Yeah,
on
and
Xbox.
not against that because PlayStation 2 is one of the best consoles ever. We have one up here, we have a couple over there. I mean, nothing against it.
Yeah, and then remember PlayStation released Haze. It was supposed to be the Halo killer.
Yeah, and then your buddy Daniel, when you buy it, it was crap.
Well, I remember
It was
calling
fun if
It
you
was
had
crap.
people to
You-
play with.
you
It wasn't-
remember
yeah, it wasn't good.
when we were trying. Well, when we had already pre-ordered the Xbox, and I called, and the guy, they always have their pitch when you call.
Yeah.
He's like, and you can pre-order the new Halo. And so when I hung up, I told you guys like, hey, are we sure it's called Halo?
Like,
Maybe
I
it's
can
called
read.
Halo.
It says Halo.
But yeah, that guy was way wrong. I hope he got.
Oh, well, it was Babbage's. He probably just.
Wherever he's at now, we wish you.
Yeah, I hope you're doing well. and
I
watching.
always remember playing the game with the big Duke controller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that thing.
That was awesome.
with the breakaway cords.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love
Those were nice because we constantly had dogs and cats and us running by. and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
trip over it. Yeah.
What do we got next? Are we gonna throw to producer Rich for his? 15
I think
seconds?
we do we have to?
Oh, by the way, we have a really nice Halo collection, so I'll do a B-roll of it, and
Or you
I'll
make it
put
short.
our editor.
Why don't you make it short?
Yeah, we can
Well,
make it short.
either way, our editor, I'm sure he'll put up some of it on this video, so you'll see it.
Yeah, we'll do some shorts. I feel like people want the shorts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do a mixture of both.
They don't want to see you in shorts, but they want to see your shorts.
You know, if we get decent amount of comments of a picture of him in shorts, we'll find something.
Yeah.
Man, I'm
thanks.
pretty sure you wouldn't
Go ahead,
wish
Brett.
that upon yourself. But yeah, okay. So this is a part of the show where producer Rich, he doesn't get a lot of time to talk, so we've devoted a huge amount of 15 seconds for him to give us anything we might have missed, or maybe something he just wants to reiterate like he did last week, which is kind of a waste. But anyways, with that being said, whenever you're ready, just give us like a thumbs up or something. Okay, so 15 seconds, you're off.
Okay, more than 6 million copies have been sold worldwide since November 2005. A remaster of the game Halo Combat Evolution Anniversary was released for Xbox 360 by 343 Industries on the 10th anniversary of the original game launch.
That was actually pretty good, concise. by
He
him.
did say Halo Combat
He did. He
Evolution,
did.
and
Oh, yeah.
that pissed
Did I
me
miss
off.
Sorry, Evolve. It's because I
So,
own it.
cut his mic, cut his mic.
I have a Evolution, so that's what happens.
Oh Christ!
Combat
Try to flex. there.
Evolved.
Combat Evolved Anniversary.
Okay. Yeah, not his worst. So
No, not his best either.
He did bring. You know what?
6 million copies is a hell of a lot of copies.
But since 2005,
Right.
2002 is when it came out. So how much it sold? since 2002?
It came out.
Sheesh.
It came out in November 15th, 2001.
Okay, you got your 15.
Yeah, November 15th, 2001. And
Wow.
if you pop it in today and you play on the old graphics, they may be a little grainy, but you will still have fun like it's 2023.
Oh man.
Heard it here first. So what do we need now? We need the Metacritic. We need to know how much it's going for on
Complete in box on
complete
this.
in
It's a
box.
disc.
Okay, so your Metacritic is 97. PC is 93.
Yeah, it came out a little bit.
Okay,
After, yeah.
and you want your prices, right?
Yeah, what it's going for, complete in box.
Complete
97.
Halo Combat Evolve Platinum hit. Original.
Do we
This
want the
one is
platinum?
41.99.
No, it's sealed. It's got to be sealed.
You didn't want it sealed?
No, just complete.
Oh, complete here is it's 15.38.
Oh, 1538 for
11.
97.
Yeah.
I always feel like
Yeah, it's
you have to
about
say
right.
complete in box. What kind of animal are you to lose the case?
There's actually one just a disc here. It's,
Who
it's
does that?
$10.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but the worst part about it is who would buy it? Unless you have like I've done this where I have just the carton.
I
or
have
the,
Max Payne that
case
way. There's no game.
and
I
no
open it up.
game. Then I would buy it. But other than that, like you're just like, I guess I'll just put it in a sleeve. Like no offense to anyone that does these.
No,
things.
you're a monster.
I would never do that. So he said $16 and a 97. So does it hold up to the
That's
97?
on par with NFL 2K1.
Oh my goodness, does it hold
97?
up? I'm not even gonna waste anyone's time. Yes, this clearly holds up. This might be the best game we've reviewed yet. I don't want to say reviewed, but revisited. Like I said, like there's at any point, and I don't even see going forward in the next 10 years, next 15 years, next 20 years. There's not going to be a time where you can't go back to this and have a good time, and just relive like just good memories. And at the same time, you can see the fingerprints of Halo on shooters to this day. Like Jared mentioned about orchestras, the new Doom, the last two Dooms had a full-on orchestra, right? I'm sure other games are doing it as well, but that one just comes to my mind because that music's rocking as well. But the twin sticks, everybody copied the twin sticks. Remember how, you had like a very minimalistic HUD, heads-up display, if you don't know what that means, Rich.
He didn't.
Thank you.
Where it's like all you have is your armor, you got a little bit of ammo, you got a gun. That's pretty much it. The reticle was small. You get to drive a Warthog, a vehicle, and do so many different things. And the story was epic and drastic. I'm rambling on. This game's smack certified.
Am I next?
Yeah, we'll kick it to you. since-
Okay, so I'm going to hit you guys with everything. No, what I would say is you know you're a great game when, to your point, this game's a Halo killer, or this game's going to be better than Halo, or the team that made it left and now they're going to make great things and they don't. But you know the thing that's been great from here on, or from the beginning of time? Halo. Every Halo has been great in my estimation, except for I don't like that over-the-top one. What is that?
Halo Wars.
Not a fan of that, but I'm not a fan of that type of game. But either way, if it just had the music and Master Chief talking, I'm in. Even Halo Infinite, I love that game. I think it's great. I love the controls. I love the way it looks. I get that it doesn't have some of the things that we want it to have, but it's still a really good game. And all of that is because of the original Halo. So this game is smack certified. It's a 99 in my book. I'd give it 100. Do they give 100s?
They do.
It's 100 to me. And for $15, that's only because they sold 10 bajillion copies of it and they're everywhere, not because the game isn't worth $1 million. Because it is. Best game ever. Go ahead, Jared.
Do you have anything else to add?
All I'm going to say is if you're an Xbox fan, which, spoiler alert, I'm always going to side with Xbox over anything, you owe everything to Master Chief. Because if Master Chief and Halo was a failure, they would have bowed out. They would not have continued to be where they are now. They would even though they have infinite money, they would not have continued. There would have been no reason to. Because Halo is such a huge success, and Master Chief is such a big icon, because Nintendo has Mario, Sega has Sonic, PlayStation nobody cares.
Jeez.
A lot of people care, and they have Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, and Microsoft will own it in a week,
God of
like they
War.
did with what's it called with that Crash. But anyways, Master Chief is on par with those guys. Without Master Chief, there's no Xbox. So as an Xbox fan, you have to play this game. And if you don't play this game and you say you're an Xbox fan, like he likes to say, you're not an Xbox fan.
You're just not. Yeah.
You're not.
Wow.
You just turn in all your Xbox stuff. You don't deserve to have it. This is probably one of the best games. If it wasn't for Shenmue, this is the best game ever made. By hands down.
Yeah, and I guess one thing we really didn't even get too much time to talk about was we didn't really even go through, like, the story might be one of the better stories. It does, obviously, as every game continues down that line, it's going to get a little more convoluted. But like the enemy, the Covenant, the Flood, the people that like their whole culture that they bring in Halo 2, they come in hot with the Arbiter, right? And you're going, this is going to be dumb. It's actually maybe my favorite character outside of Master Chief. So it's like, just know, go back, revisit this, play this, have a good time, and just know that you have like 7 more games that you can play. And you might as well just take a week-long vacation and just play them.
Master Chief,
Grab a 30 rack.
Master Chief minus Joe Valentine is the best video game character of all time.
Again,
Hands down.
here he comes with his absolutes, but this
Hands
week
down.
he's always been like, well, this game is the best except for this game, and this character's best.
No.
I think, honestly, Master
Master
Chief
Chief-
and Cortana combined are the best duo.
Master Chief is better than Mario.
Mario and Yoshi?
Master Chief is better than Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake's whack.
I mean, you said he's better than everybody. We don't need to name everybody.
I'm just letting you know, Master Chief is the best video game character
Oh.
of all time.
You said duos? I'm going to have to disagree. It's clearly Donkey and Diddy Kong. I
no.
mean, they're
Because
apes.
even in the game, they see Master Chief and they run because they know he's a badass.
Yeah. No, I'm not arguing with you.
And the morale booster that he gives to the other Marines is like, oh, it's the Master Chief, or oh, Chief is here. His name's also John.
Yeah.
I just forgot to mention that. I don't know why that popped in my head.
I would do his voice, but I'd get roasted. And
Come on,
I
do
can't
it.
do
Hit us
it.
with
I
it.
can't.
Yeah,
I
no, you
can't
gotta
do it.
do it.
So I can't. I'm not gonna do his voice. I'm not gonna do it. But it's John 117, right?
Cortana.
That sounded more like
That was like my Max Payne, huh?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't sound like anything.
No, it sounded like Captain Keys more.
Captain Keys. When he first sees him. The audio people gotta be
dun.
Do
loving
they go
this.
way back?
I don't know. What? So
We go back quite a ways.
Jeez.
I'm starting to sound like Clint Eastwood.
this is bad. Let's end this thing.
Yeah. All right, we're just going to close it out here. I hope you listen to us and go pick up Halo Combat, not Evolution, but Evolved, and you have a good time, you enjoy it. All of us agree it's one of the greatest games of all time. We're on all the socials. Hit like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you got to do there. But until next time, this has been Bradley
Rich.
And Jared.
and producer Rich behind the camera. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Peace.
Halo. It's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.